Hello car nerds. Can you guess how many distinct models of the Porsche 911 are currently offered for sale? Maybe 5, 10 at the most, you might be thinking. Try 33 according to the automaker site. You can have everything from a garden variety, basic stripped out Carrera for about 115 grand, to the off-roading Dakar, to the mighty turbos and track attack GT3s. But amongst all that absurdity of choice, one 911 rules them all, at least when it comes to price. It's the 2024 911 ST, a rarefied gem of a Porsche 911. A car that has been distilled down to offer what brand ambassador Walter Röhrl called, quote, the best road car I have ever driven. It's a doozy. Let's dive in. But first, would you kindly click the subscribe button below? Everyone here at the Empty Garage thanks you. Porsche is no stranger to cranking out special edition variants of its legendary 911. Remember the 911R that capped off the 991 generation? If you thought that car was special, get a load of the ST. It's perhaps the perfect blend of the track beast GT3 RS and the wonder of a 6-speed stick. Porsche says it's not a race car or a track car, but a car focused on dominating country roads. Just don't get caught. The 911 ST name pays tribute to the very first generation 911, a model from 1969 known simply as the 911S, a special race-ready model with modifications to the chassis, wheels, engine, and body, all aimed at improved handling. Internally, it was known as the 911 ST, but without a backslash between the letters. Adding that backslash to this modern variant is a subtle cue to most, but something of a shout to the rabid Porschephile universe that this car is something very special indeed. For one thing, the 911 ST has a monster mounted in its keister. That being the 4-liter naturally aspirated Boxer 6 used to power the 911 GT3 RS. It's left untouched, because it's perfect, and makes the same 518 horsepower at 8,500 RPMs as the track model. The 342 pound-feet of torque also remains the same. What does not remain the same, among other things, is the transmission. In the GT3 RS, it's a 7-speed dual-clutch automatic, known as the PDK, which is short for something that no one can pronounce. This is a slick shifting unit, one that can rip between gears faster than you can say automatics are boring. Now, if you're actually buying a GT3 RS to go racing, sure, the PDK will in fact help you go faster. But for those posers that buy one to stuff in a climate-controlled warehouse and prance around for YouTube videos, give me a break. For real drivers, the 911 ST drops the slush box in favor of a 6-speed manual, and it's the only way the car can be purchased. That makes the ST the only way to enjoy the GT3 RS motor with 3 pedals. And though the flat 6 remains unchanged, the stick goes under the knife of Porsche engineering. Featuring a special single-mass flywheel, the lightweight setup shaves 23 pounds of rotating mass from the system. They also shortened the final drive ratio from 3.96 in the GT3 RS to 4.3. Along with reducing overall weight, responsiveness will go way up. So eat your Wheaties and get ready to shift. It is this light weighting that gets to the core of what makes the 2024 911 ST so interesting. Tipping the scales at just a bit more than 3,000 pounds, the ST is said to be 84 pounds lighter than the Touring. A lot of that dieting comes courtesy of the modified body. The 911 ST takes the best part of the GT3 RS, its motor, and blends it with the relative stealthiness of the GT3 Touring, namely the removal of the gigantic rear wing. The ST does share its carbon fiber hood with the Touring and carbon fiber doors with the RS. However, the carbon fiber roof and front fenders are unique to the 911 ST. That's a lot of carbon fiber pieces that, along with trimming weight, add to the sense of more direct handling. Porsche being Porsche went even further down this path with thinner glass to shave a few more pounds. Of course, removing sound insulation is a natural fit for this course of action, one that helps in the lightweighting mission and builds on that target of a more emotional car, one that feels and sounds as raw and visceral as it really is. Those seeking a boulevard cruiser that looks nice and coddles the bottom need not apply. Then there is the wheel and suspension setup on the 911 ST. Lightweight, center-locking magnesium wheels are sized 20 inches up front and 21 inches for the rear. They come wrapped in serious rubber, that being the Michelin Pilot Cup 2 variety that measure nearly 12.5 inches out back. Porsche's ceramic composite braking system comes standard, but the 911 ST has another exclusive feature: no rear wheel steering. In fact, it's the only 992 generation model to feature a double wishbone front end and multi-link rear suspension without four-wheel steering. Why? Because removing it drops a substantial 14.3 pounds from the equation. Doing so necessitated a reworking of the steering rack with a slower 15:1 ratio versus the GT3 RS. As well, the mechanical limited slip diff now locks up more easily. The dampers are still of the active variety, but Porsche raids the GT3 RS Weissach parts bin for a carbon fiber rear anti-roll bar and shear panel to drop another 4 pounds from the ST. Heck, even the gloriously tuned sport exhaust system is of the lightweight variety. Its dual center configuration saves no weight, but looks darn good nestled into the diffuser. As for the rest of the exterior, only eagle-eyed car nuts will know this is an ST and not a GT3 Touring. Both models feature color-matched front bumpers and the frisky-looking fender vents behind the front wheels. Neither share the hilariously huge rear wing from the RS, but the ST does add a small gurney flap off the standard rear spoiler. There's also the 911 ST badge on the rear end, bookended with a 60th anniversary emblem. Should you choose to add the Heritage Design package, it'll help differentiate things even further. And for the low price of just 20 grand, we must recommend it. With it, you can enjoy a shore blue metallic finish with Ceramica painted wheels, a look that is exclusive to this car. Not to mention the big old door number, a heritage-inspired Porsche crest on the hood, wheels, and headrests, and gold-finished trunk badging. Not to mention the gloriously appointed cabin. In everyday $290,000 spec, the 911 ST goes all black in the cabin. That's not to say it doesn't look good, what with all that handsome contrast stitching, but opting for the Heritage package brings fancy classic cognac leather with crisp black pinstripes to coat the carbon fiber buckets and other surfaces. It's sharp. Even without it, all STs feature a green band on the tack that harken back 60-odd years, and a gold 911 ST dash plaque that is sort of a must-have on cars like this. Did we mention Porsche's only building 1,963 of them? You know, as a tribute to year one of its most famous sports car. That helps explain the ludicrous $100,000 upcharge over a 911 in GT3 Touring spec. Is it worth it? Well, let's see. It'll go from 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds according to Porsche, though you can be sure that's conservative, so call it 3.2 seconds. Top speed is 186 miles an hour, which seems fast enough for a car designed not for the track, but for windy country roads. It's about as close to a sleeper as you can get with a car packing over 500 horsepower, and the price tag of a starter home in 2010. Many points are awarded for this. Then there's the fact that it comes only with a manual transmission. I mean, what more do you need to be convinced? Okay. How about the special watch you can buy to go with your new toy? Offered to buyers of the 911 ST, which is surely long since sold out forever, is something the automaker calls the Chronograph 1. Its case is made of uncoated and media-blasted titanium, for weight savings, of course. The internals are designed to mimic the car's magnesium wheels, and it even comes with its own plaque showing the ST and its serial number, all for just $13,500. So if you start with a base 911 ST and add a few options like the Heritage design look, some LED matrix lights, bespoke leather keys, a surround sound system, and a few other odds and ends, you're looking at just about $330,000. Tack on that fancy watch I just mentioned, and this becomes a nearly $350,000 package. That's crazy money, and if I had it, I'd be writing the check as we speak.